Hey y'all, it's me, Miss B. Today we're going to be talking about writing an equation given its slope and a point on a line. So first, the equation of a line in, this is called point slope form, is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So y1, x1, and m are all unknowns, where m is the slope and x1, y1 is a point. So go ahead and answer this question. What two things do we need to write the equation of a line in point slope form? You should have said we need slope and we need a point. Seems pretty obvious, but that's the answer. Okay, so here I'm going to write an equation in point slope form for a line whose slope is 2 through the point 1, 5. So I have this equation, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. A lot of students want to replace their y and their x with their point, but that is not the point. Those are going to stay there. Our y and our x are going to stay, and only our x1, y1 are going to change. So I'm going to go ahead and write off to the side here what m, x1, and y1 equal. So here it says my slope is 2. That means the m is 2. And then I have the point 1, 5. So this is x1 and y1. So we go ahead and write those in. And then I just plug them into my equation. So I have y minus 5 equals m, which is 2, times x minus 1. And that is the equation of a line in point slope form. Easy enough. Go ahead and do this next one on your own. What you should have wrote for this one was y minus negative 2 equals 1/2 times x, this should be minus negative 3 equals 1/2 times x minus negative 2. So when you simplify that, you get y plus 3 equals 1/2 times x plus 2. So that right there is your final answer. All right, go ahead and do the next one. What you should have had for this one was y minus negative 1 equals m times x minus 4. When we simplify, we get y plus 1 equals negative 5/4 x minus 4. So that right there is your final answer. Okay, so this last one's kind of hard to see because it's not spaced out properly, but it says, given the equation y minus 2 equals 3 times x plus 4, we want to identify the point on the line and the slope of the line. So you should have more room than I do, but we want to find y1. Oh, I don't know what happened. We want to find m, x1, and y1. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite my equation using the minuses that we're used to. So I have y minus 2 equals 3 times x. And then we're going to write this as minus and negative 4 because that's the same thing as plus 4, but it's using that minus that we have in our original equation. So m is equal to 3, x is equal to negative 4, and y is equal to 2. Okay, so I'm going to give you a second to breathe. Now, we are moving on to writing in point slope form given 2 points. So this should be at the top of your page. It's at the bottom of mine. But we're just going to rewrite that equation so we have it. All right, I'm going to ask you again, what two things do we need to write the equation in point slope form? You need point and slope. Okay, so to find the slope, we have to plug in our point and solve for m. So we can plug in 2 points and solve for m. So we're going to write the equation of a line in point slope form going through the points 3, negative 5, and 6, 2. So there's actually a couple ways we can think about this. We can either find the slope using y minus y1, dang it, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is equal to m. But you'll notice that if I'm just going to keep this off to the side here. If I have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, and I divide by x minus x1 on both sides, and these cancel, I have m equals y minus y1 over x minus x1. Look, this is almost identical to this. The only difference is that we don't have 2's on that x, those first x and y's. So we can just plug those in to our equation to solve, or we can plug them into our original equation, or we can just plug them into our point slope form. I'm going to plug them into point slope form just so we can be fancy. So we've got our thing covered up here. So I've got y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So I'm going to call this x and y, and I'm going to call this one x1 and y1. So then we'll just plug and chug. So y is equal to -5. y1 is equal to 2. We don't know what m is. X is equal to 3. And x1 is equal to 6. So we get -7 is equal to m times -3. Divide both sides by -3. And I get 7/3 is equal to m. Okay, so I have this, and then I have this, so I'm going to plug these into my point slope equation right here. So I'm going to have y minus 2 equals 7/3 times the quantity x minus 6. If you use the other point, it's still correct. It's just a different point. So this right here is our answer. All right, go ahead and do this next one on your own. Okay, so I'm going to use y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So I'm going to make this x and y, and I'm going to make this one x1 and y1. So I have y minus, y is -2. Minus 0 equals m times x minus x1. So I get -2 equals m times -3. So 2/3 is equal to m. Then I'm going to use this point to plug in. So I have y minus y1 equals m times, we know what m is. m is 2/3. X minus x1. So you could have had this as an answer, or you could have had y plus 2, because we do minus and negative, equals 2/3 times x minus 3. You could have had either of these answers and it would have been marked as correct. All right, we're going to save this last one for class. And that's it.